Do you know that all the blood in our body is filtered 400 times through the kidneys every day, and that our blood is free from waste? And do you even know what system is responsible for that?
If you didn't know, then it's the excretory system, also known as urinary system.
Excretory system. This system regulates the chemical composition of the body fluids by removing metabolic waste and retaining the proper amounts of water, salts, and nutrients. The excretory system functions as the bulwark and balance to the digestive system, while we consume food and drink to nourish the body and provide energy. The excretory system ensures that homeostasis is maintained, irrespective of changes to the nutritive value of food. First, filtration. The excretory tubule collects filtrate from the blood. Water and solutes are forced by blood pressure across the selective permeable membranes of a cluster of capillaries and into the excretory tubule. Number 2. Reabsorption. The transport epithelium reclaims valuable substances from the filtrate and returns them. Number 3. Secretion. Other substances are extracted from the body fluids and added to the contents of the excretory tube. Number 4. Excretion. The filtrate leaves the systems and the body. The main components of this system in vertebrates are a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. And the other organ that is part of excretory are skin, large intestine, lungs, and liver. And now we will go through this of each structure and understand their role in the process of excretion.
Renal artery. The renal artery branches out from the lower part of the aorta and supplies the kidney with fresh blood, while renal vein drains the blood from the kidneys and connect them to the inferior vena cava.
Kidney. The kidneys are paired, bean-shaped organ located above the waist. Their main function is remove waste from the blood in the form of urine, keep substances stable in the blood, make erythropoietin, a hormone which helps make red blood cells, make vitamin D active, regulate blood pressure. The kidneys remove waste from the blood through tiny filtering units called nephrons. Each kidney has more than 1 million of nephrons. There is also a small tube called a renal tubule, which drains the urine and joins other tubules carrying the urine out of the kidney to the urethra. Urea, together with water and other waste, forms the urine. Parts of the kidneys. First, cortex, the outer protective portion. The medulla, the inner soft portion. The hilum, a depression located in the middle of the concave side of the kidney where blood vessels, nerves, and the ureters enters and exit the kidneys. The cortex is where the blood is filtered. The medulla contains the collecting ducts which carry filtrate or filtrated substances to the pelvis. The pelvis is a hollow cavity where urine accumulates and drains into the urethra.
Ureter. The urine that is formed in the kidneys is passed down with the help of ureters. The ureter is a tube that carries urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. There are two ureters, one attached to each kidney. The upper half of the ureter is located in the abdomen and the lower half is located in the pelvic area. Urinary bladder. The urine moves from ureter into the urinary bladder. It is a sac-like structure with muscular walls that holds urine until it is expelled from the body. The bladder can hold up to 300 to 500 ml of urine. Also, the muscle that helps us to hold our urine for a time is called a sphincter. A sphincter is a circular muscle that normally maintains constriction of a natural body passage or orifice and which relaxes as required by normal physiological functioning.
Urethra. The urethra is the vessel responsible for transporting urine from the bladder to an external opening in the perineum. It is lined by a stratified columnar epithelium, which is protective from the corrosive urine by mucus-secreting glands. The urine exceeds the bladder through the urethra. This tube allows urine to pass outside the body. The brain signals the bladder muscles to tighten, which squeezes urine out of the bladder. There is also a difference between the female and male urethra. Female urethra is approximately 1.5 inches long and opens through the meatus, while the male urethra is approximately 8 inches long and it passes through three different regions. It is the prostate gland, membranous portion, and the penis. And now let's talk about the rest of the organs of the body that are included in the human excretory system.
Skin. The skin is the body's largest organ. It covers the entire body. It serves as a protective shield against heat, light, injury, and infection. The skin plays a role in the excretion through the production of sweat or perspiration by sweat glands in the dermis, although its main role is for temperature control and maintaining salt level.
Large intestine. The long tube-like organ that connected to the small intestine at one end, and the anus at the other part of the main excretory function of the large intestine is to eliminate solid waste that remains after food. It's digested and water is extracted from the ingestible matter. The large intestine also collects and excretes waste from throughout the body, including biliverdin in bile.
Lungs. The lungs are a pair of spongy air-filled organs located on either side of the chest. The lungs are responsible for the excretion of gaseous waste, primarily carbon dioxide from cellular respiration in cells throughout the body. Exhaled air also contains water vapor and trace levels of some other waste gases.
Liver. The liver is an organ about the size of a football. It sits just under your rib cage on the right side of your abdomen. The liver breaks down many substances in the blood, including toxins. The liver also excretes bilirubin, a waste product of hemoglobin catabolism in bile. Bile then travels to the small intestine and is eventually excreted in feces by the large intestine.
Uremia. Under this condition, the urea accumulation is comparatively high. In such patients, excess urea is removed from hemodialysis. In hemodialysis, the blood is drained carefully from whichever artery is convenient and is sent to a dialyzing unit. The unit contains a porous membrane which allows passage of molecules on the basis of the concentration gradient. Prevention. Individuals with kidney disease may be able to prevent uremia by following the treatment plan prescribed by their doctor. However, the best strategy for preventing uremia is to avoid kidney failure in the first place. It is possible to reduce the risk of high blood pressure and diabetes with a healthy lifestyle. Maintaining a body mass index or BMI, eating a balanced diet, and remaining physically active can help.
Renal failure. Renal failure is the decrease in the glomerular filtration in humans. Both the kidneys are damaged and stop working in case of acute renal failure. The main feature of acute renal failure is scanty urine production, and to prevent this disease, we must maintain a healthy weight because obesity can increase your risk for conditions associated with kidney failure such as diabetes and high blood pressure. eat a heart-healthy diet because a heart-healthy diet, one low in sugar and cholesterol and high in fiber, whole grains and fruits and vegetables helps prevent weight gain.
Renal calculi or kidney stones. Kidney stones are the result of deposition of dissolved minerals or insoluble salts on the inner lining of kidney. This increase in size and cause immense pain in the patients when passed.
Calcium is not the enemy, but it tends to get a bad rap, most likely due to its name and composition. Many are under the impression that calcium is the main culprit in calcium oxalate stone. A diet low in calcium actually increases one's risk of developing kidney stones. Don't produce the calcium, work to cut back on the sodium in your diet and to pair calcium rich foods with oxalate rich foods.